Hi, this is Jessica DeMassa, and I'm here at the GuideWell Insights Lounge at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine 2017. Thanks for joining us. Right now in the lounge, I have with me Dr. Elana Schrader. Elana is the Chief Medical Officer for GuideWell, as well as Florida Blue, which is Florida's Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. So welcome. Good to have you in the lounge.
Thank you.
So I understand that this is your first time here at ExMed. All right, and I'm dying to know, as the Chief Medical Officer for a company like GuideWell, which is a big health solutions company, it has underneath it a health delivery company, it has underneath it a consumer company, it has underneath it an innovation company, and then also a payer that insures the majority of people in Florida. So what do you have your eye on here at ExMed? What's blown your mind so far?
Well, I have to say, first of all, there is so much energy in this room.
Really?
So between the audience and the speakers, it's like you can't get enough of unbelievably interesting, exciting new ideas. This whole conference is about catalyzing the future of healthcare. And that's what it feels like. It feels like we're here sort of incubating ideas and then using them as catalysts for more ideas. So it's like this incredible endless cycle of newfangled stuff.
I love the words that you're using here, like catalyze, and I like that you've picked up on the energy, because it is so active of a conference where I feel like people really are looking at, okay, it's not enough just to talk about these sexy technologies, but really how do we start to implement them? And so in an organization, a large organization like GuideWell and like Florida Blue, are these kinds of very bleeding edge innovations? Like we're talking about blockchain, we're talking about 3D printing, microbiome, precision medicine. Are those things, how far within or out of reach are those types of innovations for a company like GuideWell?
Well, there are certainly things that we're talking about at this conference that are a little bit far into the future and somewhat difficult to imagine being implemented anytime soon.
Okay.
That said, there are enormous opportunities to leverage a lot of the concepts we're hearing about. So let me give you an example.
Yes, please.
So as the Chief Medical Officer of this large company with millions and millions and millions of members, I'm responsible for the health management of the population. But what I say every day, consistent with our mission, is that we're here to improve the health of our communities, and I add one by one by one, patient by patient by patient. And one of the most important messages of this conference is personalizing healthcare, personalizing wellness care. And that's what precision medicine is all about. So this concept of artificial intelligence and how it can apply to each individual is what is so exciting to me. So again, a concrete example might be the use of telemedicine in certain diseases or conditions like diabetes,
sure,
where the technology that's being used actually both provides therapy but also feedback on the individual, him or herself, who has diabetes, so we know exactly what therapies to use and exactly when.
Right.
Right medicine at the right time for the right person in the right place.
Right. And I love that you brought your notes with you.
I took notes.
I love that you're taking notes in these sessions. So tell me about an aha moment that you've experienced here. Anything blow your mind?
I have to say the things that are blowing my mind are more sort of conceptual. It's about collaborations. There's this unbelievably interesting collaboration between Mayo and industry, in which we're looking at vocal biomarkers to predict diseases. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Okay, what does the voice sound like when someone is having chest pain that really is heart disease? That's actually an unbelievably useful technology. So if someone is remote, calls into a telemedicine capability, you can actually measure the voice to predict whether there's real heart disease associated with the chest pain. That's
incredible.
It's incredible.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Do you see, I guess, from your vantage point, we talk about the healthcare continuum, and then the patient, the provider, and then everything all the way up to the larger healthcare organizations like yours, where there's opportunities to integrate innovation in, but it's almost like there's so many roadblocks. From what you're seeing here, I mean, it's so optimistic, it's so energetic, it's so forward thinking, but when you come down to the day-to-day, what are some of the challenges that big organizations really have to be mindful from that maybe we don't always hear because we don't get a lot of big organizations talking about, well, it's not easy to integrate X because of Y?
I think that's a really great question. So there's really cool, really kind of sexy new technologies, but you can't implement new technologies unless you have baseline processes that work.
Yeah.
So I hate to be the one to point it out, but we have a lot of legacy, old processes that just don't work anymore.
Right.
So until we fix those, there's a limit to how far we can take any given new technology.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
to
for
you?
sure. And I mean, it's like the transactions, especially in a payer environment or even on a care delivery environment, there's so many different transactions really that need to take place, and they are very process oriented. So
there are so many opportunities to connect the payer to the consumer, to the physician, to the hospital. But until all of those stakeholders are in the game together, it's very difficult to play a quarterback or coordinating role.
Right.
It's just very difficult.
What do you think will bring all those players together?
I think we're getting there. We talk a lot about healthcare reform, which has been with us now for several years. One of the things that it did, it brought us the opportunity to have dialogue amongst all of those stakeholders. So whether it's because of a little bit of fear of the unknown or passion for the next new thing, whatever it is, people have come together. Stakeholders are coming together.
Good.
So I think we're on the way. We're progressing.
Good. And what needs to happen next to take us to the finish line on this?
Probably more pain.
Great.
Honestly, maybe another round of decreased access for people.
Sure.
Another level of, oh my God, we've got to change something.
This.
Those kinds of fears bring people together.
No, I think that's very well said. I think that's very well said. Well, I hope what emerges from that is something that's very optimistic and very forward thinking. So last question for you. Generally speaking, seeing all of this, right, are you optimistic about the future of healthcare?
I am so optimistic. Good. Honestly, you can't come to a conference like this and not get excited about the incredible innovation that's going on, the incredible intelligence that is building and that we're harvesting. It's really amazing. It's amazing.
Good. Well, enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you.
We look forward to hearing more. I'm sure we'll hear more from you about some of the outcomes or some of the things that you're taking home with you. But thank you so much, Dr. Schrader, for joining us here.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you at the GuideWell Insights Lounge. I'm Jessica DeMassa at Singularity University's Exponential Medicine 2017. Thanks so much for joining us.